The journey begins. The hum of the Odyssey's engines resonated through the spacecraft, a steady reminder of the journey ahead. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood in the center of the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back, eyes scanning the various monitors displaying the status of the ship and the approaching planet, Zeta 9. "Attention, crew." Her voice cut through the ambient noise, drawing all eyes to her. "We're about to begin our descent towards Zeta 9. I want everyone at their stations, prepared for any eventualities. This planet represents a significant opportunity for humanity, and it's our job to ensure we seize it." Lieutenant Mia Chen, already immersed in her station's readouts, glanced up with a confident smile. "Engines and systems are green across the board, Captain. We're ready for anything." "Excellent," Rodriguez replied, turning to Dr. Arun Patel. "Doctor, what's your assessment of the planet's surface?" Dr. Patel, with his trademark enthusiasm, stepped forward. "Preliminary scans indicate a rich biodiversity, potentially harboring new forms of life. The atmosphere is breathable, but we should proceed with caution. There are some unusual energy readings that we need to investigate." Sergeant David Thompson adjusted the strap of his plasma rifle, a hint of a grin on his rugged face. "Breathable atmosphere or not, I'll keep us covered. Nothing's getting the jump on us." Rodriguez nodded, her gaze shifting to the ship's AI interface where Athena's holographic form flickered into view. "Athena, status report on our approach vector." "Trajectory is optimal, Captain. We will enter Zeta 9's atmosphere in T-10 minutes. All systems are functioning within expected parameters," Athena reported in her calm, reassuring tone. Rodriguez took a deep breath, the weight of the mission settling on her shoulders. "All right, team. This is what we've trained for. Dr. Patel, Sergeant Thompson, prepare for an expedition as soon as we land. Mia, keep the ship ready for a quick departure if necessary. Athena, maintain a constant scan for any anomalies." "Aye, Captain," the crew responded in unison, each member focusing on their respective tasks. As the Odyssey began its descent, the view outside shifted from the inky blackness of space to the swirling blues and greens of Zeta 9's atmosphere. The ship shuddered slightly, turbulence buffeting its hull. "Steady, everyone," Rodriguez called out. "Mia, how's our stabilization?" "Adjusting thrust vectors now," Mia replied, her fingers dancing across the controls. "We've got some strong crosswinds, but nothing we can't handle." The ship dipped and swayed, but Mia's expert piloting kept it on course. Rodriguez watched the screens intently, noting the way the landscape below came into sharper focus. Rolling plains, dense forests, and winding rivers sprawled beneath them, promising a wealth of resources and mysteries. "Approaching designated landing zone," Athena announced, "initiating landing sequence." The Odyssey descended smoothly, thrusters firing in controlled bursts to guide it gently to the ground. With a final hiss of decompression, the ship settled onto the planet's surface, landing struts embedding firmly in the soft earth. "Touchdown," Mia said, a note of pride in her voice. "We're on the ground, Captain." Rodriguez allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. "Good work, everyone. Dr. Patel, Sergeant Thompson, gear up and meet me at the airlock. We move out in 5. As the team assembled their gear, Rodriguez took a moment to glance at a small photo tucked into her console. It was of her family, a reminder of why they were out here, pushing the boundaries of human exploration. She steeled herself for the task ahead and joined the others at the airlock. The airlock cycled open with a hiss, revealing the verdant landscape of Zeta 9. The air was fresh, tinged with the scent of unfamiliar flora. Dr. Patel immediately began scanning the surroundings with his handheld sensor, while Thompson took up a protective stance, eyes scanning for any threats. "Stay close and keep communication lines open," Rodriguez ordered, stepping out onto the soft, springy ground. "Dr. Patel, any immediate findings?" Patel's eyes were wide with wonder. "The biodiversity here is incredible. I'm picking up signs of complex ecosystems, and those energy readings are definitely coming from some sort of artificial source. We should investigate further." Thompson's grip tightened on his rifle. "Let's make it quick and stay alert. This place is beautiful, but it could be hiding anything." The team moved cautiously through the underbrush, the sounds of alien wildlife echoing around them. The foliage was lush and vibrant, with colors more vivid than anything on Earth. Rodriguez couldn't help but marvel at the beauty, even as she kept her focus on the mission. "Captain, I've found something," Patel called out, kneeling beside a cluster of strange, glowing plants. "These readings, it's as if they're drawing energy from the ground itself. Fascinating." "Good find, Doctor. But let's not linger. We need to locate the source of those energy readings," Rodriguez said, checking her map. "Athena, can you triangulate the origin?" "Scanning now," Athena's voice came through their comms. "The source appears to be approximately 2 kilometers east of your current position. Proceed with caution." "Understood. Let's move," Rodriguez ordered. As they trekked further into the forest, the undergrowth grew denser, and the energy readings on Patel's scanner intensified. Suddenly, the foliage parted to reveal a massive structure, half buried in the earth and covered in vines. It looked ancient, yet strangely intact. "Incredible," Patel breathed. "This could be a relic of an advanced civilization." Rodriguez approached the structure, her mind racing with the possibilities. "Stay sharp. Thompson, secure the perimeter. Patel, see if you can access any of the systems inside. Mia, monitor our status from the ship and be ready for an emergency extraction." "Aye, Captain," Mia's voice crackled over the comm. As Patel examined the structure, a low hum began to emanate from within. The air grew charged, and Rodriguez felt a prickling sensation on her skin. "Captain, I think I've activated something," Patel said, his voice a mix of excitement and concern. Before Rodriguez could respond, the ground beneath them shook, and a beam of light shot up from the structure into the sky. The team instinctively shielded their eyes, and when the light subsided, a holographic figure stood before them, speaking in a language they couldn't understand. "Athena, translation," Rodriguez commanded. "Working on it, Captain," Athena replied. "The language is ancient, but I'm deciphering it. Stand by." The holographic figure's speech gradually became clearer. "Welcome, travelers. You have awakened the guardian of Zeta 9. State your purpose." Rodriguez stepped forward, heart pounding. "We are explorers from Earth. We seek knowledge and resources to help our people. We mean no harm." The figure paused, as if considering her words. "Your intentions will be tested. Prove your worthiness to receive the gifts of Zeta 9. The ground trembled again, and the figure vanished. Rodriguez exchanged a look with her team, determination etched on her face. "We've come this far. Let's show them what humanity is made of," she said firmly. "Everyone, stay alert and prepare for whatever comes next." Chapter 2. Unexpected Challenges. The Odyssey shuddered violently as it descended into Zeta 9's atmosphere, the calm exterior of space giving way to a swirling maelstrom of storm clouds. Captain Elena Rodriguez gripped the armrests of her chair, her knuckles white. "Status report!" she barked, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Massive storm system detected," Athena's calm voice announced. "Winds exceeding safe limits. Turbulence levels critical." Lieutenant Mia Chen's hands flew across the controls, adjusting thrusters and stabilizers in a desperate bid to keep the ship from being torn apart. "Captain, we're getting thrown around like a ragdoll here. Thrusters are at maximum compensation, but this storm is off the charts." "Keep us steady, Mia," Rodriguez ordered, her eyes glued to the viewport. Lightning flashed, illuminating the swirling dark clouds and the violent gusts that rocked the ship. "Sergeant Thompson, secure all loose equipment and brace for impact," Rodriguez continued, her voice steady despite the turmoil. "On it, Captain," Thompson replied, moving swiftly through the ship to ensure everything was locked down. Dr. Patel, gripping his workstation for support, glanced at the storm readouts. "This storm system is highly unusual. The energy readings are spiking. It's almost as if it's being driven by something." Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. "Athena, any signs of artificial interference?" "Scanning," Athena replied. "There are anomalies consistent with artificial manipulation of the weather. Source is undetermined." "Great," Mia muttered, sweat beading on her forehead as she fought the controls. As if a natural storm wasn't bad enough. The Odyssey lurched again, a particularly fierce gust slamming into its side. The lights flickered and alarms blared as systems struggled to cope with the strain. "Main thrusters are losing efficiency," Mia yelled. "We need to find a way to stabilize, or we're going to be scattered across this planet." Rodriguez made a quick decision. "Athena, divert all non-essential power to the thrusters. Mia, reroute auxiliary systems and engage manual stabilization. We need to ride this out." "Understood, Captain," Athena acknowledged. "Rerouting power now." Mia's fingers danced over the controls, redirecting power and manually adjusting the ship's orientation. "Come on, baby, hold together," she whispered, coaxing the ship through sheer willpower. Outside, the storm raged, rain and hail pelting the hull. The ship shuddered with every impact, but the stabilizers began to find their rhythm, countering the worst of the turbulence. "Steady, steady," Rodriguez murmured, eyes locked on the viewport as the ship descended through the storm. "Mia, how are we looking?" "Better," Mia replied, her voice strained but determined. "We've regained some control, but we need to get out of this storm. Fast." "Agreed," Rodriguez said. "Athena, plot the quickest course to clear skies." "Course plotted. Adjust heading to 350, Athena instructed. Rodriguez relayed the heading to Mia, who adjusted the controls accordingly. The ship's engines roared in response, pushing through the storm with renewed vigor. "Captain, I think I see a break in the clouds," Thompson reported from his station, peering at the external cameras. "Head for it," Rodriguez ordered. "Full speed ahead." The Odyssey surged toward the gap in the storm, the turbulence lessening as they approached. Finally, with a final shudder, the ship burst through the cloud cover into the clear skies beyond. "Storm clearing," Athena reported. "We are now in stable airspace." Mia slumped back in her seat, exhausted but relieved. "We made it through. Systems are stabilizing." "Good work, everyone," Rodriguez said, letting out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "Dr. Patel, what do you make of those anomalies?" Patel adjusted his glasses, studying the data. "It's possible that the storm was artificially generated or enhanced. We should proceed with caution and investigate further once we're on the ground. Rodriguez nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. Athena, keep monitoring for any unusual activity. Mia, bring us down to our original landing zone. Aye, Captain, Mia replied, guiding the ship down towards the designated coordinates. As the Odyssey descended, the storm now a distant memory, Rodriguez couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Zeta 9 was proving to be more treacherous than anticipated, but she knew her crew was up to the challenge. Prepare for landing, she commanded, watching the ground rise up to meet them. And stay sharp. This planet is full of surprises. The ship touched down smoothly, the landing struts sinking into the soft earth. The engines powered down, and the crew let out a collective sigh of relief. Secure the ship and prepare for the expedition, Rodriguez ordered. We've got a lot of ground to cover and plenty of mysteries to uncover. As the crew disembarked, Rodriguez took a moment to look up at the sky, the storm clouds now dissipating in the distance. The challenges ahead were daunting, but she knew that together they could overcome anything. Let's show this planet what humanity is made of, she said quietly, determination burning in her eyes. Chapter 3. First Contact. The Odyssey had barely settled onto the ground when Captain Rodriguez's voice crackled through the comms. Dr. Patel, Sergeant Thompson, gear up. We're heading out to gather samples and investigate the surrounding area. Time to see what this planet has to offer. Roger that, Captain, Sergeant Thompson replied, securing his plasma rifle to his back and checking his gear. Ready when you are, Doctor. Dr. Patel adjusted his sensor pack and slung it over his shoulder, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Let's see what mysteries Zeta 9 holds. The airlock hissed open, and the team stepped out onto the soft, alien soil. The landscape was lush, with vibrant flora that seemed to pulse with life. Strange, bird-like creatures flitted through the canopy, their colors dazzling against the emerald backdrop. Rodriguez took a deep breath of the fresh air, filled with the scent of unfamiliar plants. Stay sharp and keep your eyes open. We don't know what we're dealing with yet. Patel scanned the area with his handheld device, eyes glued to the readings. Captain, I'm picking up some unusual energy signatures about a kilometer to the northeast. Could be worth checking out. Lead the way, Doctor, Rodriguez said, gesturing for Patel to take point. As they trekked through the dense foliage, the energy readings grew stronger. Thompson moved with practiced ease, his eyes constantly scanning the surroundings for potential threats. This place is too quiet, he muttered. Feels like we're being watched. Rodriguez nodded, her hand resting on her sidearm. Stay alert, everyone. After a few minutes of hiking, they emerged into a clearing dominated by a massive structure partially buried in the ground. It was clearly ancient, yet there was an undeniable sense of advanced technology about it. Intricate carvings adorned the surface, glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. Incredible, Patel whispered, his voice filled with awe. This is definitely the work of an advanced civilization. Thompson approached the structure cautiously, his weapon at the ready. Any idea what it does? Patel shook his head, already lost in the data his scanner was feeding him. The energy signatures are off the charts. This might have been some kind of power source or communication hub. We need to get inside and take a closer look. Can you open it? Rodriguez asked, examining the carvings. "I believe so," Patel replied, running his fingers over the surface. "These markings suggest some kind of biometric lock. Let me try something." He placed his hand on a glowing panel, and after a moment, the structure responded with a soft hum. A doorway materialized, sliding open to reveal a dark interior. The air inside was cool and dry, a stark contrast to the humid jungle outside. "Stay close and watch each other's backs," Rodriguez ordered, stepping into the structure with her weapon drawn. The interior was vast, with walls covered in more of the intricate carvings. Faint lights flickered on as they moved deeper inside, illuminating what appeared to be a control room filled with ancient consoles and holographic displays. "Captain, over here," Patel called, standing in front of a large central console. "This seems to be the main interface." Rodriguez joined him, looking over the console's displays. "Can you make sense of it?" "I'm working on it," Patel said, his fingers flying over the holographic controls. "Athena, I could use your help with the translation." "Accessing now, Doctor." Athena's voice came through the comms. "This appears to be a database. I'm decrypting the files." As Athena worked, Thompson kept a vigilant watch on the entrance. "Captain, we've got movement outside. Something's out there." Rodriguez's grip tightened on her sidearm. "Everyone stay focused." "Patel, how much longer?" "Almost there," Patel replied, a line of concentration furrowing his brow. "There, I've got it." The central console flickered to life, displaying a series of holographic images. They showed scenes of an advanced civilization, thriving in harmony with the planet. Then, abruptly, the images changed, depicting a catastrophic event: massive storms, earthquakes, and the collapse of their cities. "It looks like they faced some kind of disaster," Patel said, his voice tinged with sadness. "This might explain the storm we encountered. They could have been trying to control the weather." Rodriguez studied the images, her mind racing. "We need to learn more. Athena, can you download this data?" "Already in progress, Captain," Athena replied. "Download complete." Suddenly, the structure began to tremble. Dust and debris fell from the ceiling as the ground shook violently. "Time to go!" Thompson shouted, leading the way back towards the entrance. The team sprinted through the trembling structure, emerging into the clearing just as the entrance collapsed behind them. The tremors subsided, leaving the clearing eerily quiet once more. Rodriguez took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "Good work, everyone. We've got what we came for. Let's get back to the ship and analyze this data." As they made their way back to the Odyssey, Rodriguez couldn't shake the feeling that their discovery was just the beginning. Zeta-9 had many secrets, and they had only scratched the surface. "Captain," Patel said as they reached the ship, "I think we're going to need more time to fully understand what happened here." Rodriguez nodded, determination etched on her face. "We're not leaving until we do. This planet has a story to tell, and we're going to uncover it." Chapter 4: A Hidden Threat. The sun was setting on Zeta-9 as the crew of the Odyssey began their journey back to the ship, the ancient structure now a collapsed memory behind them. The forest, which had seemed vibrant and alive, now took on an ominous tone in the twilight. "Keep your eyes peeled," Captain Rodriguez ordered, her senses on high alert. "We don't know what else might be out here." Sergeant Thompson took point, his plasma rifle at the ready. "Something doesn't feel right," he muttered, scanning the dense undergrowth. Dr. Patel glanced nervously around, clutching his scanner tightly. "I'm picking up movement all around us. It's like the whole forest is alive." "Stay focused," Rodriguez said, her voice steady. "We're almost back to the ship." Without warning, a guttural roar echoed through the trees. Shadows flickered at the edge of their vision, and the ground beneath them trembled. "Incoming!" Thompson shouted, raising his rifle just as a massive creature burst from the underbrush. It was reptilian, with scales that glimmered in the fading light and eyes that burned with a predatory hunger. Rodriguez didn't hesitate. "Open fire!" Thompson's plasma rifle blazed to life, bolts of energy slamming into the creature's hide. It shrieked in pain, but kept charging, its powerful limbs propelling it forward with terrifying speed. "Athena, tactical analysis," Rodriguez commanded, firing her sidearm at the advancing beast. "Identifying weak points," Athena's voice responded through the comms. "Target the joints and underbelly. Armor is weakest there." "Got it," Thompson grunted, adjusting his aim. His shots found their mark, striking the creature's vulnerable spots. The beast roared in agony, its charge faltering. More creatures emerged from the forest, drawn by the commotion. Rodriguez's heart pounded as she fired at another beast, her shots precise and controlled. "Fall back to the ship! We can't fight them all out here!" The team moved as one, retreating towards the Odyssey, while maintaining a defensive perimeter. Thompson covered their rear, his rifle spitting plasma with deadly accuracy. Rodriguez fired at anything that moved, her focus unwavering. "Dr. Patel, stay behind me!" Thompson shouted, shielding the scientist from a lunging creature. Patel stumbled, but kept moving, his scanner beeping wildly. "There's too many of them!" "Keep moving," Rodriguez urged, her eyes darting between her crew and the encroaching threats. "Athena, any way to slow them down?" "Analyzing options," Athena replied, "deploying sonic emitters from the ship. Stand by." As they neared the Odyssey, the ship's hull glowed with energy. High-pitched sonic waves blasted through the air, disorienting the creatures and causing them to reel back in confusion. "Now's our chance! Move!" Rodriguez ordered, sprinting the last few meters to the airlock. The team piled into the ship, the airlock ceiling shut behind them. The roars of the creatures were muffled, but still audible, a reminder of the danger just outside. "Everyone okay?" Rodriguez asked, breathing heavily. "All clear," Thompson reported, though his eyes remained wary. "We need to figure out what those things are and why they attacked." Patel was already at his station, analyzing the data from his scanner. "It seems our presence triggered some sort of defensive response. These creatures could be guardians left by the ancient civilization to protect their secrets." Rodriguez frowned, pacing the small space. "Athena, any insights on the creatures?" "Based on available data, these organisms are bioengineered. Their aggression appears to be a programmed response to intruders," Athena explained. "Great," Rodriguez muttered, "so we've stumbled into a planet with built-in security." Thompson crossed his arms, his expression grim. "We need a plan. Those things won't stay back for long." Rodriguez nodded. "Agreed. Athena, can you create a perimeter defense using the ship's systems?" "Affirmative, Captain," Athena replied, deploying automated turrets and activating perimeter shields. "Good. Patel, keep analyzing the data we collected. There has to be a way to communicate, or at least a method to neutralize the creatures." Patel nodded, his fingers already flying over the console. "On it, Captain." Rodriguez turned to Thompson. You and I will check the exterior. Make sure the defenses are holding and see if we can find any clues about these creatures' origins." "Understood, Captain," Thompson said, hefting his rifle. They moved to the airlock, suiting up for another sortie. As they stepped outside, the automated turrets whirred to life, tracking any movement within range. The creatures prowled just beyond the perimeter, their eyes glowing in the darkness. "Let's make this quick," Rodriguez said, her voice low. "We're not out of the woods yet." As they inspected the defenses, Rodriguez couldn't shake the feeling that they were only scratching the surface of Zeta-9's mysteries. The hostile creatures were just one piece of a much larger puzzle. "Captain," Thompson said, pointing to a cluster of markings on a nearby rock. "These look like the same carvings from the structure. Maybe they left us a way to deactivate the creatures." Rodriguez examined the carvings closely. "We need to get this back to Dr. Patel. It might be the key to solving this." They made their way back to the ship, the creatures still watching from the shadows. Inside, Patel studied the markings, his face lighting up with recognition. "These are instructions," he said excitedly. "It's a code to shut down the creature's aggressive programming." "Can you decode it?" Rodriguez asked, hope flaring in her chest. "Yes, but it will take some time," Patel replied, already working on the translation. Rodriguez nodded. "Do it. We'll hold the line until you're ready." As the night wore on, the team worked tirelessly. Patel deciphered the ancient code, Thompson kept the perimeter secure, and Rodriguez coordinated their efforts. The roar of the creatures outside was a constant reminder of the stakes. Finally, Patel looked up, exhaustion and triumph in his eyes. "I've got it. We can deactivate the creatures from the main console in the structure." Rodriguez felt a surge of relief. "Good work. Let's move out and end this." With renewed determination, the team prepared to venture back into the jungle. The creatures outside seemed to sense their resolve, their roars growing louder. "Stay close and stay sharp," Rodriguez ordered, leading the way. "We're not done yet." As they approached the ancient structure, the ground trembled once more. The creatures closed in, but this time the team was ready. They fought their way to the console, each step a testament to their resilience and determination. "Cover me!" Patel shouted as he began inputting the deactivation code. Thompson and Rodriguez formed a defensive perimeter, their weapons blazing. The creatures' numbers seemed endless, but they held their ground, buying Patel the time he needed. "Almost there!" Patel called, his fingers flying over the controls. With a final keystroke, the console lit up, and a wave of energy pulsed through the air. The creatures froze, then retreated, their aggression seemingly drained away. "It worked," Patel said, his voice trembling with relief. "We did it." Rodriguez lowered her weapon, exhaustion washing over her. "Good job, everyone. Let's get back to the ship." As they made their way back, the forest seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The threat had passed, for now, but the team knew there were still many secrets left to uncover on Zeta-9. Chapter 5. Resourcefulness in Action. The Odyssey trembled as it weathered the onslaught of the Zeta-9 storm, its hull groaning under the strain. Inside, Lieutenant Mia Chen worked frantically at her station, assessing the damage and formulating a plan of action. "We've got breaches on multiple decks," Mia called out over the chaos of alarms and rattling metal. "Hull integrity is compromised." Captain Rodriguez rushed to her side, her expression grim. "What's our status, Mia?" Mia's fingers flew across the console, her mind already calculating solutions. We've lost power to several critical systems. Life support is holding, but we need to patch those breaches fast." Rodriguez surveyed the damage, her jaw clenched in determination. "All right, let's get to work. Patel, Thompson, with me. We need to assess the extent of the damage outside." The team donned their suits and ventured out into the storm, braving the howling winds and driving rain. The sight that greeted them was grim. Gashes torn into the ship's hull, sparking wires, and twisted metal. "We've got our work cut out for us," Thompson said, his voice muffled by his helmet. Patel scanned the wreckage, his brow furrowed in concentration. "There's a mineral deposit nearby. It might contain elements we can use for repairs." "Lead the way," Rodriguez ordered, her resolve unwavering. They made their way through the storm, guided by Patel's scanner. The mineral deposit was nestled in a rocky outcropping, its vibrant hues shimmering in the harsh light. "This could be our salvation," Patel said, kneeling to examine the mineral closely. "It's highly conductive and resilient, perfect for patching up the ship." Thompson surveyed their surroundings, his hand resting on his weapon. "Let's gather as much as we can and get back to the ship. We don't want to be caught out here if the storm worsens." Back on the Odyssey, Mia wasted no time putting Patel's discovery to work. With makeshift tools and sheer determination, she and the crew began the arduous task of repairing the ship's damaged hull. "We'll need to reinforce these patches," Mia said, directing the crew as they welded and sealed the mineral into place. "We can't risk another breach." Patel worked alongside her, his mind buzzing with ideas. "I wonder if we can integrate this mineral into our systems. It might improve our energy efficiency and provide better protection against future storms." Rodriguez nodded, impressed by their ingenuity. "Make it happen. We need all the advantages we can get out here." Hours passed, the crew working tirelessly to restore the Odyssey to full functionality. Slowly but surely, the ship began to take shape once more, its scars a testament to their resilience. "Life support is back online," Mia announced, relief evident in her voice. "We're stable for now." Rodriguez surveyed their handiwork, a sense of pride swelling in her chest. "Good work, everyone. We've weathered the storm, but we're not out of the woods yet. Let's stay vigilant." As the crew settled in for a well-deserved rest, Patel couldn't shake the feeling that their discovery on Zeta 9 was just the beginning. There were still mysteries to uncover and challenges to overcome, but with resourcefulness and teamwork, they would face whatever came their way. Chapter 6. The Big Decision. With repairs to the Odyssey complete, the crew gathered in the main briefing room to discuss their next course of action. Captain Rodriguez stood at the head of the table, her expression grave. "We have a decision to make," she began, her voice echoing in the tense silence of the room. "We can leave Zeta 9 immediately, knowing that our repairs might not hold up against another storm. Or we can stay and continue our exploration, hoping to find more resources to strengthen the ship." Dr. Patel spoke up first, his gaze determined. "We've already seen what this planet has to offer. There could be valuable minerals or technologies waiting to be discovered. I say we take the risk and stay." Lieutenant Chen nodded in agreement. "We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Besides, we have the skills and the technology to handle whatever this planet throws at us." Sergeant Thompson crossed his arms, his expression skeptical. "And what if we run into more of those creatures? Or another storm hits and we're not prepared? We could end up stranded here for good." Rodriguez listened to their arguments, weighing the risks and rewards in her mind. We came here to explore, to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Turning back now would be a disservice to everything we stand for. But at what cost? Thompson countered. We're risking the lives of everyone on this ship. Is it worth it for the sake of a few more minerals? The room fell silent as the crew grappled with the gravity of their decision. Each option carried its own set of risks, and the consequences could be dire. Finally, Rodriguez spoke, her voice steady. We stay. We came here to explore, and we're not going to let fear hold us back. We'll proceed with caution, but we owe it to ourselves and to future generations to continue our mission. There was a murmur of agreement around the table as the crew resigned themselves to their fate. The decision had been made, and now they would face whatever challenges Zeta 9 had in store for them. All right, let's get to work, Rodriguez said, her tone resolute. We have a planet to explore. As the crew dispersed to their respective duties, Patel caught Rodriguez's eye, a small smile playing at the corners of his lips. We made the right choice, Captain, he said. I have a feeling there's still much more to discover on Zeta 9. Rodriguez returned the smile, her confidence bolstered by the unwavering determination of her crew. I couldn't agree more, Patel. Let's show this planet what humanity is capable of. With their decision made, the crew of the Odyssey prepared to continue their exploration of Zeta 9, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, with courage and resolve. Chapter 7. Discovery and Diplomacy. As the Odyssey continued its exploration of Zeta 9, the crew stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the jungle. Inside, they found the unexpected, a surviving member of the ancient civilization that once thrived on the planet. The being stood before them, its form hunched and frail, yet its eyes held a spark of intelligence and wisdom that belied its appearance. Welcome, travelers, the being spoke, its voice echoing in the chamber. I am Eldrin, last of my kind. Captain Rodriguez stepped forward, her curiosity piqued. Eldrin, we are explorers from a distant star. We mean you no harm. We seek to learn about your civilization and offer assistance if we can. Eldrin regarded her with a mixture of surprise and suspicion. You are unlike any beings we have encountered before. Your intentions seem genuine, but why have you come to our world? Dr. Patel stepped forward, his demeanor calm and reassuring. We came in search of knowledge and understanding. We wish to learn from your people and share our own wisdom in return. Eldrin studied him for a moment, then nodded slowly. Very well. I will share what I can, but first we must establish trust between us. Over the following days, Patel worked tirelessly to build a rapport with Eldrin, using his empathy and negotiation skills to bridge the gap between their two cultures. Through patient conversation and mutual respect, they began to uncover the secrets of Zeta 9's ancient civilization. It was a time of great prosperity and innovation, Eldrin explained, his voice tinged with nostalgia. We harnessed the power of the stars and bent the elements to our will, but our hubris led to our downfall. Rodriguez listened intently, her mind racing with possibilities. What happened? Why did your civilization fall? Eldrin's gaze grew distant. We grew careless, complacent. We believed ourselves to be invincible, but nature had other plans. A cataclysmic event, a convergence of cosmic forces, devastated our world, leaving only ruins behind. Patel's eyes widened with understanding. The storms, the creatures, they were all a result of that event. Your civilization's attempts to control nature only made things worse. Eldrin nodded solemnly. Indeed. We paid the price for our arrogance, but perhaps now, with your help, we can begin to rebuild. Rodriguez glanced at her crew, a sense of determination filling her chest. We will do everything in our power to assist you, Eldrin. Together, we can forge a new future for Zeta 9. As the days passed, the crew worked alongside Eldrin and his people, sharing their knowledge and technology to aid in the planet's recovery. With each passing moment, trust between the two cultures grew, forging bonds that transcended time and space. And as the Odyssey prepared to depart from Zeta 9, leaving behind a world forever changed by their presence, Rodriguez knew that their encounter with Eldrin and his people would be remembered as a turning point in the history of the galaxy. Chapter 8. Resilience in Adversity. As the Odyssey prepared to depart from Zeta 9, a sense of anticipation filled the air. The crew had accomplished their mission, forging bonds with the surviving members of the ancient civilization and leaving behind a legacy of cooperation and understanding. But just as they were about to leave, the skies darkened once more, ominous clouds gathering on the horizon. "Another storm?" Lieutenant Chen exclaimed, her voice tinged with frustration. "We just finished repairing the ship." Captain Rodriguez clenched her jaw, her eyes scanning the turbulent sky. "We can't risk another breach. Brace for impact, everyone." The storm hit with ferocious intensity, lashing the Odyssey with wind and rain. Inside, the crew worked in perfect unison, their skills and knowledge honed through countless trials. "Shields at maximum," Rodriguez commanded, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Mia, stabilize the thrusters. Thompson, reinforce the hull." The crew sprang into action, each member fulfilling their role with precision and determination. Dr. Patel monitored the ship's systems, providing updates and guidance as needed. "Athena, analyze the storm patterns," Rodriguez called out, her hands flying across the console. "We need to find a way out of this." Athena's voice echoed through the comms, calm and steady. "Scanning, I've identified a gap in the storm to the northwest. Adjusting course." With Athena's guidance, Rodriguez plotted a course through the heart of the storm, dodging lightning strikes and fierce gusts of wind. The Odyssey groaned under the strain, but the crew refused to yield. "We're almost through," Chen shouted, her hands flying across the controls. Suddenly, a massive bolt of lightning struck the ship, sending sparks flying and alarms blaring. "We've lost power to the engines," Mia exclaimed, her voice tinged with panic. Rodriguez's mind raced, searching for a solution. "Emergency power to the thrusters. Thompson, brace for impact." With a surge of adrenaline, the crew rallied, pouring all their strength and expertise into keeping the Odyssey aloft. The storm raged on, but they refused to back down. "We can do this!" Rodriguez shouted, her voice filled with determination. "We're stronger together." As the Odyssey emerged from the heart of the storm, battered but unbroken, a sense of triumph filled the air. The crew exchanged weary smiles, their bond stronger than ever before. "We made it," Patel said, relief evident in his voice. Rodriguez nodded, a sense of pride swelling in her chest. "We faced the storm head-on and came out victorious. That's the resilience of humanity." With the storm behind them, the Odyssey continued on its journey through the stars, its crew united in purpose and resolve. And as they looked towards the horizon, They knew that no challenge was too great as long as they faced it together. Chapter 9. A New Beginning. As the Odyssey prepared to depart from Zeta 9, the crew gathered on the observation deck for one last look at the planet that had tested them, challenged them, and ultimately welcomed them with open arms. Captain Rodriguez stood at the forefront, her gaze sweeping over the lush landscape below. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the ancient ruins and verdant jungles. "We came to Zeta 9 as explorers, seeking knowledge and adventure," Rodriguez began, her voice filled with reverence. "But what we found here was so much more. We found friendship, cooperation, and a shared vision for the future." Dr. Patel nodded, his eyes shining with pride. "We faced adversity at every turn, but we never lost sight of our goal. Together we overcame every challenge that Zeta 9 threw our way." Lieutenant Chen smiled, her hand resting on Patel's shoulder. "We leave behind a legacy, a testament to the resilience of humanity and the power of cooperation. Zeta 9 will always hold a special place in our hearts." Sergeant Thompson clasped his hands behind his back, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "We leave behind a beacon of hope for future explorers, a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, there is always a path forward." As the crew fell silent, a sense of peace settled over the observation deck. The stars twinkled overhead, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the countless worlds waiting to be explored. "We may be leaving Zeta 9 behind, but its spirit will always live on within us," Rodriguez said, her voice tinged with emotion. "As we continue our journey through the cosmos, let us carry the lessons we learned here with us. Let us continue to push the boundaries of knowledge and understanding, guided by the light of discovery." With one last look at the planet below, the crew turned towards the future, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The Odyssey soared into the depths of space, leaving behind a world forever changed by their presence. And as they ventured into the unknown, they knew that wherever their travels took them, the spirit of Zeta 9 would always be with them, a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the endless possibilities that lay ahead.